Hey, folks, we got an interesting question here. Let's see what we can do with it. Um, my dot transition versus irons transitions. Okay, let's check it out. My dot transitions are slower on the timer. All right, so he means, I think, when he's transitioning from one target to another, he's actually slower with a dot gun versus an iron sight gun, which is kind of weird. So let's read on. I'm guessing I'm using too much confirmation on the red dot when moving into the next target. Um, what have you suggested to other shooters to increase their trust of the dot, or however I should describe having an adequate flash of dot? All right, well, there's a couple places where you could be losing time. I'm not really sure. So let's go through like the two like big possibilities. So let's say you're looking at this target over here and shooting it. Sight goes up in recoil, so your dot goes up in recoil, dot comes back down. You then reacquire the dot, so you're actually focused on the sight, right? Because you're afraid you're going to lose it, right? So it goes up in recoil, comes down. You're like, yep, there it is. Then you drag it over here, and then you shoot that target. The time spent reacquiring the sight on the target you just shot would be wasted time, of course, in my view. So you may be doing that, right? The what it should look like is like you see the sight go up in recoil as you're shooting the target, and you don't see it come down on that target because your eyes have already shifted. So you shouldn't see that if that's the case. Now you're putting it down to over confirmation, which would be aiming more than necessary or spending more time confirming the round is going to go where you want. Then you have to. So what that would look like is the gun comes over here, there's a discernible pause, and then you pull the trigger and start shooting. Now, in the case of a dot gun, a lot of iron sight guys, like they want it to look cleaner than it needs to. Like the dot shows you every little movement in the gun kind of in real time. Now, iron sights show you too, but it just doesn't look as dramatic. With a dot, it looks dramatic, like with that thing moving around. So a lot of guys don't like that and they want to like stabilize the sight a lot and make it stop moving and then give themselves permission to pull the trigger. Whereas for like most pistol distance type targets, that's not going to be necessary. Um, what do you do there? Well, a good exercise you can do is just put an aiming reference up on the target like a black or a white paster. That's fine. Have the gun down at low ready and then practice bringing the gun up, referencing the sight, and pulling the trigger. And you force yourself to pull the trigger just when you see the flash of color. So you can set the timer. It's like beep, come up, boom, right? And you just pull the trigger as soon as you see that flash of color, kind of hits be damned. You don't really care where they go for a moment. You just kind of experiment with the concept and then do it again where you stabilize the sight perfectly after you index on the target, stabilize the sight, then pull the trigger. You'll see that's a lot slower. And the idea is you only want to do that if the target demands it. So depending on what the case is here, that might be the fix, or it might be the fix where I would just isolate like leaving the target. So it would be like gun indexed here at the signal, beep, boom, pull the trigger, look over here and bring the gun over to the other target. And just make sure you aren't seeing the sight come back down on the same one. Depending on which end of the transition, the front end or the back end, you have a problem with, those couple little drills should help you understand it and then work on it. All right, questions, comments, put them down below.